Welcome to episode 6 of the Loudside podcast powered by FLEG. We have received your suggestions about the guest invitees and tried our best to have them join our show, but unfortunately, because of tight schedules, most of them could not make it. But don't worry, we have got hold of one. Today's guest is someone who doesn't just watch football, but he builds it from the ground up. Coach Kivilu K Kiba is currently the coach of the Nagaland U-20 State Team, and under his guidance, the team made it all the way to the quarterfinals of the Swami Vivekananda U-20 Men's National Football Championship. Before that, he served as the assistant coach of the FC Bhagbad Banaras, a club that won the I-League 3 title in 2026. He also coached the Newland District, who finished as runners-up at the Dr. Tiao Trophy 2025. A coach, a builder, and someone who has been quietly shaping the next generation of football in Nagaland. Please welcome Coach Kivilu K Kiba. Hello.
Hello.
Now, of course, it is my pleasure to welcome back Mr. Joel Richard Williams to the podcast.
Hi guys. Hi, welcome back. Today I'm going to grill him today, the coach for Newland. Let's see what happens.
Now, Coach Kevi, I just want to start by asking you, for people who might not know, were you a footballer before you became a coach? Or where did it all start for you?
First of all, thank you, Kuku, for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here. People often regard Nagaland is one of the most crazy football-loving state. I grew up playing football. We talk about football. We dream of football, and I was also one of those children. Like many other boys, I dreamed of playing in a big club, playing for our country. But I grew up in an environment where people doesn't encourage football as a career. I did not have that enough guidance, the opportunity, or the pathway that turns the dreams into a reality. For a while, I thought that means my dream has ended. But over a time, I realized that my dream had not ended. But the purpose has changed. That is how I am in front of you as a football coach. For me, coaching is like a father who couldn't achieve his own dreams, but determined to give his everything for his children to achieve theirs. For me, coaching is about more than a football. It is about creating a pathway for the children, opening the door for the upcoming children, so that at least they get a chance to write a story stronger than mine. So this is the short story about me, how as a young boy dreamed of to become a big football star. But I am proud that today I am in front of every one of you, sitting as a football coach.
I think we all dreamed of becoming a football player, right? I think every kid wants to either become an astronaut or a football player, right? So I went from wanting to become an astronaut and then growing up and realizing that I was absolutely rubbish at chemistry and physics, and then realizing, no, I'm never going to go to the moon or to Mars, but I can, I always love football also, right? So I used to play this video game called Football Manager on my computer, on my laptop, every single day. I used to come back from school when I was at school, a teenager, and I used to do my homework, and then I used to just like log onto my computer, stay till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning just playing that kind of game. And the level of player profiles that you get, the understanding of the tactics, because in that game, you have to prepare your tactics, you have to prepare the training sessions. So all these things, I realized from that moment on that if I don't play football, it's fine with me, because I love this more than playing football. People don't understand that. I don't get any pleasure in playing football anymore. For me, it's all about coaching and giving the tactics and speaking and the team talks and this. That really is what excites me. Playing football anymore just doesn't do that for me, you know what I mean? So I think everyone had the same dream, man. We wanted to play football, but then realized, it's not for me, right?
Yes.
So let's do something about it, no?
Yes, very true.
So, a message for people out there, that are players or want to play football. If you don't make it as a football player, you can always become a coach, you can always become a physio, you can always become a referee. And we're going to talk about referees a lot in this podcast today, right? So you can always be something like that. It doesn't have to be, my dream as a football player is done. halas, bus, I'm gone. No, there are so many pathways, as you rightly mentioned, right, in football that you can take. You can become a business owner in a football club. You know, you never know, right? So there's so many things you can do.
All right, thank you for sharing your experiences. I hope it influences someone out there. Now, shifting gears to the round of 16 because it has given a lot to talk about. We'll first begin with Canada versus Morocco. Joel, you predicted that Morocco will win this, obviously, and they did. You also predicted that Canada will score one, which they did not.
Come on, but I still predicted Morocco was going to win, right? Please. How much did I say? 3-1, right? Yeah, it was nearly there. I mean, Canada had chances to score, especially in the first half, right? The first half, you see, the way that Jesse Marsh's side play, he did the same thing at Leeds, okay? Jesse Marsh is it reminds me a lot of like a Bielsa light, the way he presses, the way they attack, using the pace down the flanks. And what he did in the first half was Canada suffocated Morocco completely. Morocco were like, okay, what's happening here? And again, Canada were not playing at home. If they had played in Vancouver or Toronto or Montreal, the result might have been different. They were playing in Houston. There were equal amount of Canadian fans, Moroccan fans, and all that kind of stuff. But the first half was over, and I remember thinking to myself, that's it. If Canada have not scored 1 or 2 goals in the first half, that's their chance gone. Because you know, as a coach, right, there are some teams that the first 45 minutes, they will go all out. Yes. But then, second half, the tank is already half empty. It's done. Whilst the other team has kept everything in reserve for the second half, right? So that's what happened in the second half. Morocco just completely dominated them. And in transition play, Morocco were so good. Like going from defense to attack in 0.1 seconds. They were so good. And they were catching Canada out all the time. In transition play, in phases like that, in counter-attacking play. So, kudos to Morocco. They showed that against Brazil, they could dominate the ball. And against Canada, they could sit back, soak up the pressure, and then hit them on the counter in the second half. So they've shown 2 sides to them already, Morocco, that they can play football with nice, neat players, Bouadi and Unahi, and all these kind of things. And then they can also defend when they have to against a very good Canada side, and then hit them on the counter. So tough game afterwards against France, but they're a good side, Morocco. They're a very good side.
So do you think that this Morocco side have what it takes to go all the way now that they're facing France in the quarters?
But they have a problem though. They have a problem. Their main striker, Saibari, who just signed for Bayern Munich, he's injured, right? Yeah. So he is their main striker at the moment. The reserve striker that they have is good, don't get me wrong, but he's not the same quality as Saibari. So how they will play against France, which we'll talk about that later, when we talk about that for the quarterfinals, will determine as to who plays up front. If Saibari is fit, they will have a different way of playing if the other guy is there. So let's see what happens. But that was a very good win against Canada, a very good win.
All right, moving on to Paraguay versus France. You predicted 3-0, but it was 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, France dominated the game. Yeah. Paraguay did what they did against Germany, what they did against Australia, what they did against Turkey, which was sit back, park the bus, use the physical aspect of the game to their advantage. Paraguay, this is funny, they made so many fouls, but they only got a yellow card in minute 92, 93. The referee in that game was a bit lenient, to be very honest with you. The Paraguayan players were elbowing, kicking, punching players, and nothing was happening, right? So I was a bit like, okay, are we going to see a Germany happen again? Are we going to see Paraguay do something crazy and beat France? Thankfully, and I say this as a football fan, thankfully Paraguay did not go through. Because I don't think anyone that likes football wants to see a football team park the bus 90 minutes, punch their way through, elbow their way through, kick their way through a team, and then qualify. No one wants to see that. If you're a football lover, right? I mean, what do you think? Do you want your team, do you want Newland to play like that?
No,
right?
I don't think modern system in today's modern football, I don't think people encourage encourage watching that kind of matches.
But the thing is that to win a football game, as a coach, let me ask you a question. As a coach, okay? No, yeah, it's good. We're having a coach discussion, right? As a coach, does it matter how you win a game, or does it only matter that you win the game? Tell me. Because I have my own philosophy about that. Like, does it matter how you win the game? Like Paraguay against Germany, they played ugly football. They won the game. So does it matter if you play nice, pretty, attractive football and lose, or do you want to play ugly and win? What would you like to do?
I think sometimes it also depends on the situation. I don't think we always stick to that philosophy. But I think at the end, football is all about entertainment.
Is
so
it?
I think we need to adopt the modern style. We have to play in the condition of transition from attack to defend to attack. Then play some attractive game. I think that will be something people will love to see. Not just park the balls and then defending for all the 90 minutes and then winning the match.
So-
I think that is also good. It's a win is a win. But I think at the end, that becomes a little bit boring.
You see, as a coach, we both are coaches, right? As a coach, isn't it fair to say that you have to adapt to whatever you have in your team against the other team? If Paraguay were playing against, let's say, for example, Curaçao, and they played like the same way they played against France, then that would be a decision made by the coach because that's his style of football, right? But against France, with Mbappé, Olise, Dembele, against Germany with Wirtz, Undav, all these star players, right? How can Paraguay compete if they play attractive football? They have to play the way that they can win, right? Which is trying to kick their opponents out of the game, trying to, find all the yellow cards that they can get for the opponents, trying to argue with the referee. They have to use their own dirty tactics, right? You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
The dark arts of football. Mourinho's an expert at that. Mourinho won the Champions League with Inter doing that. Yes, against Barcelona. He won the Champions League, parking the bus, 5-4-1, Eto'o up front, and Barcelona with all the star players, Messi, Iniesta, Xavi, they could not beat Mourinho. At Chelsea, he was doing the same thing. So, as a coach, we have to adapt, no?
Yes.
Yeah? To what we have.
Yes.
Paraguay
Jill,
have
so
no-
sorry for interrupting. I just want to, from a coach's perspective, now that we're talking about coaches, I just want to ask, France introduced a Doué from the bench and substituted, and then he won the penalty for Mbappe, and that's the winning goal. So from a coach's perspective, how important is the impact of substitution, especially in a knockout match?
Okay, fine. So, obviously, yeah, that's very important, no? Because Germany was showing that they had Undav as a super sub. Whenever he was coming on, he was creating chances, scoring goals. Also, if I recall properly, I think one of the other teams in the round of 16, they also made a substitution, and that player scored a goal immediately after coming on. I forget which one it was. But substitutions are very important, especially with the heat in the USA and in Mexico and in Canada. It's summer there right now, to give fresh legs to the players, to the team, to give momentum. And I mean, if you're France and you have Desiré Doué on the bench, that's a luxury. Paraguay doesn't have that. Paraguay has, some random guy playing in the second division in France, on the bench. They don't have the luxury that France has. So Deschamps, if he takes off Dembele, he can put Doué. If he takes off the other guy, he can put Cherki. I would love,
Yes.
as a coach, you would love that also, right?
Yes.
But some teams, no offense, if you take out their main player, they don't have the same quality on the bench. Have you faced that before?
Of course, I did.
When you were talking about Deschamps, I just wanted to ask, France, they don't always dominate possession, but they almost always control the game. So what makes Didier Deschamps' tactical approach so effective?
It's not a tactical approach. It's just he has 24 world-class players. It doesn't matter who the coach is. Even if you're the coach, even if I'm the coach of France, we would still qualify for the quarterfinals because all you have to do is manage the egos. You see, Zidane is not a great coach telling the players, oh, do this, do that, tactically. Even the Real Madrid players were saying the same thing. Zidane is not a coach. He's a manager. So he would manage the players, the egos, okay, do this, do that. He would control that. Then when Xabi Alonso comes in, he is a coach. Tell you what to do, the tactics, this, that. Madrid don't need that. They need someone to just say, play your football, but you do this, this, and this. Manage the egos, right? So with France, it's the same thing. You don't need, as a coach, to tell Mbappe what to do. What is Deschamps going to tell Mbappe to do? Mbappe is one of the best players in the world. What is he going to tell Dembele, the Ballon d'Or, what to do? Go out there, play football. And then I will manage substitution, this, that, water break, I'll tell you, good job, let's go, let's do this, let's do that. That's it. He doesn't have to go into detail. What would you tell Messi what to do, bro? Would you tell Messi, do this, do that? Would you say, Messi, do anything? Messi, go out and play football, right? Ronaldo, go out and play football, right? Done. There's a level that you cannot just say anything to anyone. So Deschamps is just about man management.
All right, moving on
Would
to
you agree or not?
Yeah, I agree.
Brazil versus Norway. Of course, you went for Norway.
Come on, you Vikings. Haaland, Haaland, la 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 la. I said 2-1. I got it right.
Yeah, he said 2-1.
Ha.
Haaland scored twice.
Can I ask him something?
Yeah.
Do you think Ancelotti is the right manager for Brazil? Again, I have my own views on that. I'll share with you guys now.
I don't have any idea about it.
Okay.
I don't want to give any comments.
He doesn't want to give any comments, bro. He's peaceful. Calm. Okay. I don't care. So I'm just going to say it. Ancelotti and Brazil are like, oil and water. They don't mix. It doesn't go together. Okay, Brazil against Norway. Norway were the ones playing Jogo Bonito, and Brazil were the ones playing ugly football. Brazil have been playing ugly football ever since Ancelotti took over. Ugly football. If you watch the qualifiers, they finished 4th or 5th in South America, behind Argentina, behind Ecuador, behind even Paraguay, to finish behind Paraguay. In South America, you must be doing something wrong, right? Behind Colombia, Brazil, I'm sorry to say to all Brazil fans, were never ever in a million years going to win this World Cup, especially with Ancelotti as a manager. Some teams and coaches, no matter how good the coach is, just don't mix together. It doesn't gel together. Yes? Can you imagine Mourinho at Barcelona? The way Barcelona plays. Can you imagine that, right? It doesn't make sense, right? So this is the same thing. Ancelotti is a pragmatic coach. He doesn't give freedom to the players to play their own style. As Brazilians, you need to be able to have that freedom to express yourself on the pitch. That's been Brazil football ever since we know, right? Ancelotti's come in and said, there are rules, there are regulations, there are tactics, this is that. Brazilians are not disciplined players. They are players that you have to tell them, go out there, express yourself, play football, enjoy. Make people happy in Brazil. That's all you have to do with Brazilian players, right? It's all about man management. The moment you start playing with Casemiro and Fabinho in the midfield, I knew you're screwed. There's no creativity there. It's just two destructive players, same profile. The moment you play with Bruno Guimaraes, Casemiro, there's no creativity there. It's just running, it's just legs, it's just tackling, it's just winning the ball back. That's not the Brazil that we know. So in my view, Brazil FA got it completely wrong in hiring a coach like Ancelotti. Ancelotti, world-class manager, world-class coach, has won everything right, except the except the World Cup with Brazil. He's won everything, but it's not a fit for Brazil. It doesn't work. It's like Mourinho signing for Barcelona. It would never work.
Do you think that was Norway executing a perfect game plan, or Brazil just failing to adapt when it matters most?
Yeah, it was a mixture of both. Okay, Ståle Solbakken, the Norway head coach, set out the team in a right way. But Brazil, I mean, you expect Brazil, right, to play this kind of beautiful football, the ones that we're always used to, no. But they just failed to do that. And they failed to do that in every single World Cup game. Against Morocco, against Haiti, they failed to do that. Against Scotland, they failed to do that. It was not, they won those games, but it was not pretty. It was not like the Samba style that we're used to. And that comes down to the head coach that they have. The head coach is not giving them the freedom they need, is not giving them the freedom of expression, and they are playing in a constrained manner. And when football players, and you know this, when you don't give certain players the freedom to express themselves, they cannot perform, right? Because some players need that kind of freedom to perform. So I think Brazil messed up, and it was coming. It was coming. We saw the signs against Japan. It was coming. Japan, disciplined side, organized side, not the best side, team, but disciplined. And Brazil struggled against Norway. Discipline, good tactical setup by Norway. Brazil lost. It was there for everyone to see. And I got my prediction right now.
Yeah. Now moving on to England winning with 10 men. They showed incredible resilience after going down to 10 men. So do you think victories like this build a championship mentality, or do they get exposed to issues that like stronger teams could punish them later?
No, I'm going to say I was surprised. I was surprised that they managed to hold on. And now people that were doubting Thomas Tuchel's squad selection can see why he brought players like Dan Burn over to the World Cup squad. I mean, Dan Burn is 2 meters 3, 2 meters 4 centimeters, not the best tactical player, not the best technical player, but what he has is a massive head. All right. And every single cross that was coming in, he was just heading the ball out. But again, Mexico were very naive. Mexico were very silly, stupid in that sense, okay? Because they were playing to England's strengths, even with 10 men. They were crossing the ball into the box. When you have John Stones, you have Dan Burn, you have Ezri Konsa, you have 4 centre-backs pretty much that were nearly 1 meter 95 and above. And you're playing balls into the crosses into the box. You're playing to England's strength. Play the ball on the ground, try and penetrate, try and build up. Do it like that, right? If you are playing against, for example, Newland is playing against, Tuan Sang, let's say we're playing against each other, and my centre-backs and my defenders are all centre-backs. The 4 of them, no full-backs, 4 centre-backs. Centre-backs playing as full-backs. And they're all 2 meters tall. Would you cross the ball into the box? Or would you try and build up and play?
Build them through the penetration process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think Aguirre, the Mexico head coach, messed up there because his team was playing to England's strengths. And it's interesting to see the red card. It was a red card for Kwanzaa, no doubt about that. But now let's see if the England or the English Prime Minister calls Infantino and asks him to rescind the red card, no, like we saw against USA and Belgium. So we'll talk about that later, but there's a lot of controversy in that because now, where does this stop? Where does this stop now? FIFA, they say they have the power to suspend a red card for a year. So now where does this stop? Now this red card that England got, can they say, hey, we want you to suspend this red card also like you did for the USA player? Where does this stop? They've opened a can of worms that I think not even FIFA understand what they've done, seriously. So, but England winning was amazing.
Yeah. Coach Kevi, you're a fan of England, so just one question to you. Playing with 10 men, from a coach's perspective, I'm asking, playing with 10 men usually means sacrificing possession or pressing. So, from your perspective, what impressed you most about England? I mean, the overall England, any of the matches?
I didn't watch. Overall, it's fine, but specifically that match I didn't watch. No.
Oh, okay, so just from overall perspective of England, since you're a fan.
As a coach, right? As a coach,
What do you like most about England? I mean, your team.
I think one reason is because of the squad. They are having the best squad in this World Cup.
England,
Yeah,
best squad.
I should say not like a France, not like a not like France, maybe not like Spain, but to my perspective and to my understanding, I think England is also having one of the best squad. I should say in likes of having kind of midfielder like Bellingham, who is playing from box to balls, and playing like and a Harry Kane who performs in the big matches, surprise, and then it attracts the people. So I think and with Declan Rice, Saka, at least they played in the Champions League final. Win or lose doesn't matter, but they are still having the same confidence. And I should say, like, England is having the best squad according to me. Maybe not according to you. Okay.
According to very few people, but okay, fine.
Yeah,
fine,
according
fine.
to me. And then in every position and even in the bench. And one thing I like about England is they can adapt easily. The adaptability in any kind of situation, they can handle the pressure very well. And
So
then
do you think it's coming home then?
coming home? It's coming home.
It's coming home.
It's coming home. This
Look at the camera. Look at the camera and say it.
It's coming home.
It's
Two-star is coming
coming home. Okay, fine.
Coming
Fine.
home.
Okay. You know, England won the World Cup and we were not even thought of at that time. 1966, you know. Not even your parents maybe were born. So imagine how long it's been for England to
It's
win.
coming home. I'm very much confident about it.
Very much confident, okay? You mark this, okay? You make it into a meme. Very much confident, okay? And we share the hell out of it. No problem.
Now let's talk about Spain knocking out Portugal. You went for Spain, 2-1.
Can you say it again? Because that's music to my ears. Can we talk about what?
Spain knocking out Portugal.
Spain knocking out Portugal. It's like, you know, when you wake up in a nice holiday in the summer or spring and you listen to the birds singing. It sounds beautiful, right? That right now sounded beautiful also to me. Spain knocking Portugal out. So nice, seriously. Anyways, guys, enough poetry, enough Shakespeare, okay? So, Spain knocking Portugal out. I did say Spain was going to win that game. And it baffles me, okay? It baffles me. You as a coach maybe can enlighten people also. But it just baffles me how Roberto Martinez does not put on the best striker he has at the moment in Gonzalo Ramos, who scored goals for fun at PSG. He's just signed for AC Milan. And he keeps on insisting with Ronaldo, who is one of the best goal scorers the world has ever seen, but he's not up to the mark right now, right? So you as a coach, I'm going to put you on the spot now, okay? If you have a player who's there by name only, he's not performing, right? And you have another player on the bench who is performing so good, same position, right? And that player that is playing right now is damaging your side's ability to win the game because he just stays stuck in one place, doesn't move, doesn't run, doesn't do anything. What do you do as a coach, man? Do you still stick with that guy? Or do you try and say, no, I have to change something. If I want to win the game, I have to change something. So what do you do?
Of course. Of course I will change.
As a coach, you have to. You have to have that kind of courage, right? To take big decisions. That's what you're paid money for, right? To take big decisions. And unfortunately, I think Roberto Martinez did not have, and pardon my French, did not have the balls to take Ronaldo out. And that is the reason why Portugal are out of the World Cup. There is no other way. Because if you look at Portugal's squad, one of the best squads in the World Cup, yeah? The depth they have in every position, fullback, centre-back, midfielders, especially midfielders, Vitinha, João Neves, Ruben Neves, Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva. Not a lot of teams have that luxury, right? But this insistency, this almost like mad belief that this guy has to play no matter what, yes, because of a name, because of his past, that's what cost Portugal the win. Because if you play a mobile striker like Gonzalo Ramos, even a João Felix, a Rafael Leao in that position that can make the runs between the lines, right? As a coach, you know also, if you're a centre-back and you're defending against a guy who's always there, it's easy, isn't it? Who doesn't move. It's easy.
It's easy.
But if you have a guy that's always constantly creating spaces and moving and running between the lines, it's harder to man mark. It's harder to control that, right? So why do people don't understand this? It's beyond me. It really is. Because Gonzalo Ramos would have changed the game. For a fact, would have changed the way Portugal play. They can play behind the line. They can make the passes. They can make... With Ronaldo, no matter how good he is, and he's one of the best goal scorers, if not the best, we have seen in our lives, right? But it's done. And people have to accept that. And people have to move on from that. And unfortunately, Portugal are still stuck in the past. And that's what happens when you're stuck in the past. You lose against Spain.
So there was also a controversy with Ronaldo's post-match interview. I want to quote what he said, so please comment on that. He said, "Tomorrow I will get up the same way I got up today, with a clear conscience. I played 23 years in the national team and won 3 titles. Before me, Portugal had not won anything. The Euros was the most important. For me, 2016 has the same dimension as a World Cup, honestly." So even though some fans had wet tears in their eyes, some did not like his statement in the post-match interview. What do you have to say on that?
I think it's just bullshit. He's talking out of his ass. That's what he's doing. How can you say the Euros is equally as important as a World Cup? Well, it's just a joke. You see, when he makes comments like this, people start disliking him more because he's not humble. He's not even hiding the fact that he's butthurt, he's angry. Yeah? Or the Euros are the same importance as a World Cup. Even a small kid knows that that's bullshit, right? Even a small kid knows that that's a load of nonsense. So he's believing his own web of lies in his head because he's trying to camouflage the fact that they're out of the World Cup. He's believing his own web of lies. Even the 2016 Euros, he was on the bench. He did not play because he was injured. The hero was Eder. Eder, not him, the other guy. And he took all the credit. Portugal have won 3 competitions since I've been in the team. It's all about him. It's not about the team. And that's the problem with Portugal. If you look at Messi, do you think Messi cares if he wins this, if he wins that? He's already won everything. He doesn't have to come out and say, "Oh, Argentina are a better side with me in it." He just has to step on the pitch, show it week in, week out, and that's it. That's how you talk on the pitch. And not by saying, I'm back when you score 2 goals against Uzbekistan. You came back, and now you're going home. Adios.
Now, also from my coach's perspective, Coach Kivi can hop on to this. As players get older, what becomes the biggest challenge in knockout football? Is it fitness, adapting the role, or maintaining consistency?
First reason it will be because of the fitness. It's not about always outside of the appearance. He might look fit, but
41.
age matters. And why age matters? Because if we compare with 25 years and the 40 years, it's quite different because the recovery time is
different,
very limited. Say if I run sprint for 30 meters as a 25 years old, I think my recovery time will be 5 seconds or 10 seconds. But 40 years running for 30 meters,
15, 20 seconds.
I think it will cost more than 30 seconds. Yeah. And before he get recovered, and even if the ball comes to his feet, he will not able to execute. So that is the problem. So age matters a lot in the sports. No matter how much you stay fit, something recovery period, some scientific things are different.
And also the belief that you are this God. The belief that you are like, oh, I am the best. In your head, you might think you're the best, but your body is saying enough, right? Same happens with Neymar, right? He might think he still has it, but he doesn't. It clearly shows it he doesn't. So age catches up with absolutely everyone. No one's the exception to the rule, all right? Even Messi won't be able to perform the same way. You know, he's performing now at 39 at the same way that he was performing 5 years ago, yeah? But Messi's a different animal, different kind of beast altogether. He doesn't need to run to perform. He can just walk, ping a ball, and that's it. It's done. The assist for Cuti Romero, the goal he scored, he doesn't have to run. But Ronaldo's game is different to Messi's game. You understand? So Ronaldo has to have that movement. And if he doesn't have that, he loses everything he has. So, again, it's just facts. Please, facts. I know I'm trying to preach to people that are never going to be converted because the Ronaldo people are like a cult, all right? And no matter what you say, they will believe only what they want to believe in. But it's what it is, guys. It's what it is.
All right, moving on to USA versus Belgium.
USA.
You went for USA, but Belgium won. Thus, I think it was an unexpected performance from there. There were many improvements. What do you have to say on their performance?
I'm actually happy the USA out. Screw them. Screw them. Seriously.
After their performance?
No. Screw the USA. Screw it. You know why? Because the game of football was tarnished. It was tarnished. How can a president of a country call and go out on CNN and MSNBC and on all the world media and say, I call my friend Infantino? Bro, how can you be so openly corrupt, okay, and call FIFA and tell them to cancel the red card that their main striker had. Then, as I was saying before, where do we stop? Does England now call FIFA and say, please cancel the red card for Kwanzaa because we think it was unfair? If you saw the foul, it was not intentional, okay? It was not intentional. Tika, we all agree on that. But the stamp on that guy's ankle, which was completely twisted, no matter what it is, that's a red card every day of the week. Every day of the week. The same as it was a red card for Messi against Algeria. I have no problem in saying that. It was a red card, yes? Now, Balogun's red card was given to him. President of America or whoever it was, Secretary of State, calls Infantino, calls FIFA, please take it off. FIFA, accept. Where do we stop? Where does that stop? Even Belgium complained. And they said, no, we're not going to do anything about this. All right? So I'm happy the USA are out because politicians interfering in football, the FIFA charter says that that country will be suspended or banned if there's any conflict between politicians and the sport of the game. So how this was allowed to happen, I don't know. But this is not a precedent that's only happened now. Let's not forget, and I'm coming back to the same group of fans that we have, okay, the Ronaldo cult. Let's not forget this. Ronaldo was supposed to be banned for 2 games in the World Cup. He hit some Northern Ireland guy when they lost to Northern Ireland 3-2. He was banned for 3 games. He served 1 game suspension. The other 2 games were taken off so he can play in the World Cup. So don't go around saying, Messi being favored by FIFA, or all this kind of nonsense. We'll talk about that later on. Because Ronaldo should have not played the first 2 games of the World Cup if you stay by the letter of the law. But he did. Why? Because like I said in the last episode, some players get special exemptions. Players like Messi, players like Ronaldo. Now apparently not a player like Balogun, but a country like USA because they're hosting the World Cup. Some teams and some players get special exemptions because of who they are. FIFA are not stupid. They want Ronaldo to play the World Cup. They don't want him to be banned for 2 games. Because that generates what? Cash. Paisa. Right? They don't want Messi to be sent off against Algeria. 2 games sent off. Because that generates paisa. So that's how it is. Football is not as clean as you think it is, right? Football is one of the most corrupt games in the world. All right? And it all stems up from the very top. So that's why I'm happy USA lost. Because that means FIFA lost. I'm happy about that.
Now, Belgium's convincing win over the United States reminded everyone of their qualities. So, are Belgium now the genuine title contenders after their performance?
No. It didn't remind anyone of their quality. USA were just shit that game. The goalkeeper made so many mistakes. The defenders, Tim Ream, made so many mistakes. Belgium took the mistakes that USA gave them as gifts, as presents, as Thanksgiving gifts. Right, there you go, brother. Have it. And they just scored 4 goals. Belgium did not play over the moon. USA were just that bad that game. And I think Belgium also wanted to prove a point that no matter if FIFA is also against Belgium, they will score. They will score. And when they won the game and they were celebrating in the dressing room, they were doing the Trump dance, right? They were doing the... So it's personal now. It's personal, right? So yeah, I'm happy USA are out.
All right. Moving on to Argentina versus Egypt. Now, the Egypt Football Association has officially complained about the VAR decisions in the match.
X-Men.
Do you think VAR is helping football, or is it creating more controversy than it's solving? Was that a fair result, or
I'm good at...
Do you think that was a fair result, or just Egypt getting robbed?
Egypt did not get robbed, man. Egypt did not get robbed. Look, I'm a very fair person. You've heard me here say first that Messi should have been sent off against Algeria. I have no problems in saying these kind of things. If you look at the game, if you watch the game, Egypt did not get robbed, okay? They just lost their composure in the last 15 minutes of a game, and that's all that happened, right? So, Egypt played really well. For 60, 70, 80 minutes, they played really, really, really well. But then, in the last 10, 15 minutes, Argentina stepped it up, and Argentina, and that's what happened. Now, if you complain about... there's no complaints about the first goal, the Messi assist. There's no complaint about the second goal. There's no complaint. The 3 goals were perfectly legal. what Egypt are apparently complaining about is that when they scored their second goal, that Zico guy, who, by the way, took his shirt off and was not booked for it. Hello, yes, he should have been booked, right? He wasn't. Oh my God, conspiracy. No, guys, when Egypt scored their second goal, which would have been 0-2 at the time, there was a clear foul on Lisandro Martinez. Whoever says it's not a foul simply does not understand football. There was a foul. There was a game in the last Copa America, which I remember seeing, where Argentina scored against Paraguay to make it 2-1, and the goal was disallowed because there was a foul on the corner flag on the opposite side of the pitch 30, 40 seconds before that the Argentina player or the Paraguay player the Argentina player made on the Paraguay player. So there was a foul. Referee brought it all the way back there. Why? Because VAR will interfere if the phase of play has not finished. If Egypt, they get a throw-in after that foul on Lisandro Martinez, right? If Argentina kick the ball out, they get a throw-in. And that phase of play is over. Now VAR cannot go back to that because it's a throw-in, right? So that's a new phase of play. People have to understand this, I swear to God. It's not so difficult. Please don't be thick. It's not hard. The game continued flowing from that free kick that they recovered the ball all the way to the goal. There was no interruption. So that is one phase of play, one footballing motion. If the ball had gone out and Egypt score after that, perfectly valid goal because the phase of play was interrupted. It's a new phase of play. But since it carried on the same phase of play, the referee is obliged to go back all the way from the start if there's a free kick. And that's what he did. And people are saying, Rob. No, you have to understand the rules of football first and then talk nonsense later, right? Because that was a perfectly illegal goal. The referee did the right thing. There's no debate. I don't understand why we're debating this. There is just no debate. It's a foul.
Now, Argentina, they came back to win, but much of the post-match conversation focused on the refereeing and the VAR decisions rather than the football itself. Do you think the controversy has overshadowed Argentina's performance?
No, but the controversy is made by people that support Portugal or people that support Ronaldo. That's the only thing. People that understand football know there's no controversy to that. Even Salah's penalty is not a penalty. Julian Alvarez gets the ball, Salah's inertia puts him forward, yes, and he trips, both of the legs are tangled. So he just trips over that. It's not a penalty. Why people don't understand this kind of thing, it just beggars belief, right? I just don't understand. If you love football, you know the game, right? But there are people that are just talking nonsense, and that Egypt coach saying it's rigged, I'm not going to watch any more World Cup games. Well, don't watch any more World Cup games. No one is forcing you to watch World Cup games. Don't watch. Do like him. Don't watch any World Cup games. It's fine. You know what I mean? Don't watch it. No one's asking you to watch.
Say that, Coach Kivi, as a coach, how difficult is it to keep players focused when a major refereeing decision goes against your team?
I have faced a lot of times, and then as a coach, it's a frustration. Sometimes, as a coach, we cannot only stand on the line. It's very difficult to handle. I don't want to give more than that.
But again, you think a decision has gone against you, but you just have to accept it because at the end of the day, it's the right decision being made. No matter what you think, it's the right decision being made. So I don't get all this crazy nonsense, FIFA conspiracies and all this nonsense, man. And the referee was French. It's not a Brazilian referee. It's not a Spanish referee that have this love between Argentina and Spain, Argentina. He's a French guy. He, by all common sense, doesn't want Argentina to win because France is still in the World Cup, right? Use your brain. So the referee is French. It's not like a Spanish-speaking referee, nothing like that. He's a French guy. So he's a perfect person to say, oh, no, play on, it's not a foul, it's a goal. If that goal was given, the foul on Lisandro Martinez, and that goal is given, will we see any complaints from anyone? Any conspiracy theories, anything? No, nothing like that. But because it was ruled against properly,
At
Then-
the end, we have to respect the rules.
Of course, we have to respect what it is. If it's a foul, man. So then what? I don't understand, seriously.
Now moving on to Switzerland versus Colombia. Whoa. Oh, you predicted it'll be a tie.
I'm so good at predictions, right? I've only missed one, which was the USA-Belgium one, right?
Yeah, and Switzerland won by 4-3. Okay.
And I said Switzerland in penalties, didn't I? There you go.
So man of the match was won by Gregor Gobel from Switzerland. He obviously produced another outstanding performance. Do you think that he has been one of the best goalkeepers of the tournament so far?
Switzerland have been blessed with good goalkeepers over the past 10 years. Jan Sommer, Gregor Kobel, and there are a few other goalkeepers that are really, really good Swiss goalkeepers. But I still love that guy, that Manzambi guy in midfield. I think he is going to be one to watch for the future. And he's a very good performer. I think Switzerland have a very... It almost feels like a very organized side. Very boring, but very organized. They know what they're doing. They know their strengths. They know their weaknesses. Swiss people are like that. They understand themselves better than anyone else. And I think they have the weapons to damage Argentina in the next round. But we're going to talk about that later on, okay?
All right, now, from a coach's perspective, again, since you both coaches, penalty shootouts are often described as both mental and
He knows.
tactical battles.
Mon Newland. He knows. Penalty shootouts. Oh my God.
So, from a coach's perspective, how do you prepare players for that kind of pressure?
It says Friday on the calendar. But today, in the beating heart of Nagaland, it was
I
always
think
going to be
we
Monday.
need to give some medicine that is not other than any kind of eating medicine, but we
What
need
medicine?
to pre-talk, we need to motivate them, give them a 10, 20 minutes medicine.
But
That
you don't
is-
have
we need to motivate them,
But you don't have 20 minutes.
build them.
before.
Yeah. I mean, pre-match we have to talk about that. During
But
the-
pre-match, if you
yeah.
talk about penalties pre-match, isn't that a negative mindset to have? Because
No,
you want to win the game on 90 minutes, right?
we have to prepare for that. Any situation, as a coach, we have to prepare and we have to practice for that. So pre-match, during the match, between the break, I think we have to motivate them. All we can do is we taught them everything. Everything is about them now.
But as a coach, I think if you go into a match thinking I'm going to get to penalties, that's a negative aspect to have, right? Negative mindset to have. You want to win the game in 90 minutes or in extra time. You don't want the game to reach penalties. Because to be honest with you, I've gone through that before in a cup final back home in Gibraltar. And to reach penalties, you cannot say anything to the players. You cannot motivate them too much because they'll be so fired up that they might miss a penalty. All you got to say is, okay, guys, we're here. Who wants to take the penalty? Who is brave enough to take a penalty kick? And those that are brave enough, they can take the penalty kick.
Some few words like winning and losing is depend on the gut. Maybe in my perspective, I can say that.
No, of course.
But you have to, whether you shoot in the above, whether you shoot inside the goal, it doesn't matter. If you are confident, take it. That's kind of motivation I can give them.
Yeah,
We are not going to blame you. It's good that you are taking the responsibility.
But then if they
so
lose,
go for it.
But then if they lose, they blame God.
No.
Because you say win or lose, you know.
Even Messi and Ronaldo miss the penalty.
Of
So
course.
10%. Goalkeepers is only having a chance, 10% to save it. For me, according to me, 90% is the kicker. But from there, it might.
One thing I never understood, okay, when I saw the penalty kicks between Mon and Newland, both teams before the penalties were praying to God. So then that means God favored Mon instead of Newland. That's what I always think like that.
It is becoming like
Ah.
a rituals. Not every,
Yeah.
not only the games between Mon and then Newland, but entire Nagaland U-20
Yeah.
before the game,
Yeah.
after the game.
But
They love to
at
keep
the end of the
playing.
day, isn't that like a distraction also? Because like win or lose, God is not on the pitch with you. It's you. You and yourself only, right? And I'm a big God believer. I'm a Christian myself. But when two teams are praying and only one team wins, what happens to the other team? What, God didn't listen to their prayer? You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes.
so if we rely purely on the guy above, that's not how sport works. At the end of the day, you have to rely on your own ability, on your own calmness, on your own, way of doing things, because then it opens up that debate, right? Oh, so God is from Mon, not from Newland, you know?
Practically, it might not work out. but spiritually,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
we
It can
believe
calm
on
you down.
that. Yeah, we
It can calm you
believe
down.
on that. It can calm down.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Of
Something we
course,
believe
of
on
course,
it.
of
So
course, of
it's
course, of
become
course.
kind of rituals.
Yeah.
So I have
Rituals.
no comments on that.
Anyway, Coach Kivi, we're also interested in your thoughts in the overall growth and future of the football. So I just wanted to ask, football is often called the heartbeat of Nagaland. What do you think, or why do you think the sport has become such an important part of our identity?
As we all know, football in Nagaland is more than just a game.
It's like a religion.
Yes,
It's Christianity than football.
It's like a part of our culture
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
identity. And I think it can be described in so many so many things of deep connections with the footballs. The Nagas we have. Maybe one reason is in likes of our religion, Dr. Tio. That is very much something which we cannot. The story is not enough to talk about him. It's something we treasure that, we respect that.
But we have to create new Dr. Tiaos.
That's it. That's it. So
We cannot rely on the past always, man. That was 60, 70 years ago. We have to create new ones now.
So that is something we are influenced by Dr. Tio. And then second will be if we talk about the entire Nagaland, we in every villages, in every town, in every community, I think in 1 kilometer or 2 kilometers, you will find plenty of grounds. Can you see that? So unlike in mainland of India, we don't often see that kind of grounds, the amples of ground. We have to pay and we have to play. I think you have experience. So this kind of accessibility allows children to naturally adopt the games.
Want to play
and
football.
Then, yes, and then the kids are like, if the grounds are empty, the kids are like more they get more excited, privileged, and then they like to do the activities, do the recreational, and that's how the game is adopted. The love for football is like having some connection. And maybe if we talk about the entire Nagaland, in every part of the villages, in every part of the colony, throughout the year we will be organizing the tournaments.
I know.
Yeah, throughout the years, it's throughout the year. So I think when people are celebrating, when people are gathering together and playing football, I think, and it's passing from generation to generation. I think that's kind of impact and the connection
The people have.
Yeah, the people have like it's becoming more than our identity. It's becoming
part of the culture.
yeah,
Part of the
it's
culture.
becoming a part of our culture. So that's what I want to give it.
Now, you've worked with players in different states. So, in your opinion, what makes Naga footballers different from players in other parts of India?
What makes the Naga players different? Ooh, come on.
I think talent is not a problem for Nagas. If we talk about the talents,
Talent is not a
we have
problem.
talents. We have not behind others. We are not behind others. We Nagas are having that talent.
That one.
You know why? It's because what we are seeing now is all a raw talented. They are not brought up from the fancy academy. They are not brought up from the something structured football coachings. So what we are seeing is all natural. It's a raw talent, and then it's a genuine. So, but I want to also encourage my players about what they need to improve is their mentality, their tolerance. I think they need to have a strong mentality, strong tolerance power to how to adopt the situation, how to adopt the environment, how to adopt different kind of coaches, different kind of systems, or maybe different kind of food habits. I think these are the main things because football is not about staying in your own zone. We have to move out of the box. We have to come from our knees.
We talked about that with Peseye and Toka last time also.
So if we want to reach high, I think we need to be prepared to get struggle. I think so. With the combinations of raw talent, genuine and natural talent, and then with the blessing of our natural strength, agility, ability, if we combine with that along with strong mentality, I think nobody can beat
Not even Portugal, Argentina. No one can beat us, right?
Nobody in our country
No one.
can beat us.
Now, having said that, if you were given the responsibility to improve football in Nagaland over the next 5 years, what would be your top 3 priorities?
That is very interesting question
But
actually.
if he speaks, he's in trouble. So don't speak. Do like Mourinho. If I speak, I'm in trouble.
So I think what to say? First, I will build a football structure that will be from the grassroots to the senior level. That will be one, and then second will be implement a unified
Curriculum.
training models. Yes,
Curriculum.
training models. Yes. So, what I mean, every coach should follow the same philosophy. So one philosophy. Everybody should follow the same philosophy, and then every age group follows the same development principles.
What if I told you that I'm already doing that with my own academy here in Nagaland?
That's good.
I have curriculums already. I have already from ages 5 to 18, 5 to 8, 9 to 12, 13 to 17, 18 plus. 4 different curriculums for 4 different age groups.
So that
Here in
kind of
Nagaland.
that's kind of model.
Structure.
Every
No matter if I go to Tuensang, if I go to Mon, if I go to Woka, they will have the same guidebook to coach the same level of players. So everyone is the same philosophy, same coaches, same everything. Nothing changes. You see, that's what we need in Nagaland. We need a systematic implementation of a footballing belief. What is the footballing model in Nagaland? You know, if you go to Punjab, you can see, okay, yeah, the Punjabis are big, strong, they play like that, they play like this. If you go to Kerala, they have their own style of football. If you go to Spain, they have their own style of football. France, their own style. England, own style, right? So what is the style of football we have in Nagaland? That is a question we have to ask ourselves as stakeholders in Nagaland football, right? We have to ask ourselves, what is the Naga players' style of football? And then we have to adapt it to that. Are they able to play only long balls and run, like we see a lot in the Dr. T.L. Trophy, right? A lot of coaches, okay, just kick the ball and run and pray and hope for the best. Pray, pray, pray. You know, we have to have our own style of football, our own philosophy of football, and that starts from the grassroots, as you rightly mentioned. Start coaching from ages 5 upwards. 5. A lot of parents think, oh, my son is 5 years old, but what will he learn when he's 5? He learns how to love the game. He learns how to, understand the game when he's that young. So when he grows up, you have players at 17, 18 that are already gone through the system for 12 years. They know how to play football. What we're seeing is a lot of talented players who have never had the chance to be coached when they're 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds because there's no opportunity, right? So we have to create that opportunity to do that. We have to go every single district and create that.
Now, Coach, you were mentioning about the change of environment, adaptability of the players. So football today is becoming more scientific with sports science, nutrition and performance analysis playing a bigger role. So how prepared do you think Nagaland is for this change?
Yes, of course. Modern football demands modern trainings, and then in modern football, talent alone is not enough. We have to combine with sports science, that is using the scientific technology, using the advantage of strength and conditioning.
But are we ready for that here?
Okay, let's do it.
But are we ready to say to the players, okay, don't have rice. You have to have different kinds of food. Are we ready for that here?
No, I'm
We're
going
not
to
ready
talk
for that,
about
are
that.
we?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that actually. So we need to work on the recovery, proper sleeps, proper nutrition.
Water intake.
Yes, intakes, and
Everything.
then food habits. It comes under diet and nutrition. So I think with this combination, I also want to say to my fellow coaches, I think, like I said, modern football demands modern trainings. I think we need to, as a coach, including me, we have to apply the same philosophy of how to use the strength and conditioning using the scientific, and then apply it in your own coaching. Sometimes, for example, sometimes some coaches blames only a players, but I think sometimes it's not a player problem. Maybe sometimes it's because of his lacking of fitness, mental pressure.
Upbringing also.
Yeah.
Maybe the way he is, the way he thinks.
So as a coach, you are the responsible. I should say, as a coach, we are the responsible to analyze the same people, collect his data, either in the group or either in the individual. I think we need to collect all the information and and we need to encourage how we can motivate them. So it's all included in combined. So I think I should say we need to start applying sports science in modern football.
So earlier we were talking about Naga's style of playing football. So I want both of you to answer this question. You believe that Nagaland should develop its own football identity, right? So what would a Naga style of football look like on the pitch?
Tiki-taka. That's the way I see it. Pass, move, pass, move, pass, move, pass, move, pass transitions. That's the way I see it. Why? Because we have the technical ability to play like that. I think coaches here in Nagaland are afraid to play like that. They're afraid of playing like that. And I think I'm talking too much because now people will know how Tuan Sang will play. Shit. I shouldn't be talking about this. But anyways, I really do believe that the way forward is a fast style football, pressing. We have a lot of fitness here. We have natural strength, natural fitness. Use that to your advantage. So that means that you can press better, longer, and harder than other states. You can control the ball better because the technical ability is there. It's just that a lot of people in Nagaland, correct me if I'm wrong, tactically, the teams are not prepared well enough. That's what I see a lot, especially when watching the Dr. Tiao Trophy. The tactics seem to just, it's just 11 strong men against 11 strong men, and let's see who's the strongest of them all. That's it. I don't think there's a lot of, the tactical aspect, I think, is not at that same level as you may find in other states in India. For example, Kerala, for example, Goa, the tactical aspect of it. But the technical and the physical aspect is superior. So we have to work, I think, my own personal opinion after watching so many games in Nagaland, we have to work on the tactical side of things also. We have to drill the players tactically, how to respond, as you said, to different situations, to different scenarios, to different kinds of things, right? So I think that is where we are lacking. Everything else, I think we have the capability of surpassing anyone in India.
Okay, for me, with the blessing of natural strength, speed, agility, and a fearless mentality that we have, I think as a coach, I will apply counter pressing, maybe structure built up with a counter pressing, because it demands a lot of energy. It requires a lot of translation, and I think we Nagas can easily adapt to that kind of situations, like playing from a defense and then quickly go for counter attacking, and then if they counter back again, we come from transition to attack from attack to defense. That kind of tactics, that kind of philosophy, I think I would like to apply in my Naga philosophy, Naga game of style. I think there are so many things I can also explain in this. But like you have said, I think we are all connected with each other.
Newland against Tuan Sang. Newland against Tuan Sang. Yeah, you heard it here first. Final Dr. Tiao Trophy. But one of us has to knock Mon out, okay? I leave that. Can I do it, please? Can I knock Mon out? Please.
Last year I knocked out
Tuan Sang. I know. That's why I want you in the semi or final, so I can knock you both out.
So
you and Mon out. Bus.
This year I'm going to knock you out.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much for all the insights. Now let's move on to the quarterfinals prediction. France versus Morocco first.
France, Morocco, what do you say, brother?
France, Morocco, it's going to be very unpredictable for me as a coach, because Morocco sides, I think this World Cup is becoming very unpredictable in common. Okay, and then Morocco is like kind of some strong underdog team. So
are they underdogs anymore? I don't think they are. I think they're the real deal, man.
People describe.
Yeah, I know. But I think they're the real deal, man.
So, but at the end, I'll go for France.
Maybe how much?
2-1.
2-1 France. Okay. You see, my mind is a bit messed up right now because, you see, on paper, France have a better team than Morocco, right? On paper. But then even in the last World Cup, Morocco played against France in the semi-finals and they gave them a very tough game and all that kind of stuff, right? So even if it finished 2-0 for France, but they scored the second goal in the last few minutes of the game, they were struggling. Morocco hit the post. I remember that game clearly, okay? You know what? And I think that this Morocco side is better than the Morocco side in 22. And I think the France side is not necessarily better than the last France side. I don't think it is necessarily. They have the same more or less core group of players, right? The only addition of Doué, but they had Dembélé back then. They had Kolo Muani, who was on fire at the time. Mbappe. They had more or less the same group of players, right? So you know what? Morocco to win this game. Morocco to win this game. Yeah, I really do think that Morocco. They played really well against the Netherlands. They played really well against Canada. They're on a roll. And I think that Morocco are going to win this game. And they're going to win this game by 1-0. They will score 1 goal and they'll keep everything shut out. I mean, France against Paraguay. France did not inspire a lot of confidence against Paraguay, okay? They played well, but Paraguay outmuscled them, outfought them. If Morocco can add that little bit of tenacity to their game and still use that technical quality they have in midfield with Unahi, with Bouadi, with Hakimi on one side, Mazraoui on the other. If Saibari is playing, they have a very good team. So I'm going for my Moroccan family to win 1-0 against the French. Au revoir, France.
I think that's a good prediction.
Thank you so much,
Morocco,
brother.
I think defensively they are good. And
It'll
then
be the same between
in the
Tonsang and
transition
Milan.
also they are too good. So I think my analysis on France and Morocco, I think Morocco will try to defend and then they will take the chance in the transition that will go for counter. And their physical strength is also good. So, but why I talk about France is in likes of Mbappe and Dembélé, they are world class. It's a world class. So anything, if they get any small distance, they will shoot. They are aggressive. They are ready to shoot. So anything may happen. So yours is also a good prediction, but I will also go France 2 and then Morocco 1.
Imagine, no, Morocco is Tonsang, France is Newland, 1-0. No, that's all I need. 1-0 only.
I talk in pitch.
Oh, yes, this guy. I love him. So much.
All right, Spain versus Belgium. Belgium produced one of their best performance, which I think we did not agree earlier. Spain has left it late to get past Portugal. Where's the edge going on to this quarterfinals?
Go for it,
Please.
I think Spain are going to win that game. But the thing is, Spain, lately, they tend to, I don't know how to put this. It's a weird game, okay? Belgium, as you said, they're very unpredictable. They struggled against, Against Senegal. They scored 2 goals in the last few minutes of the game, right? They beat USA, but the USA was a very bad performance by the USA. It was less of a good performance by Belgium, and it was more of a bad, atrocious performance by the USA. So I wouldn't give Belgium too many flowers or roses yet because they had one of the easiest paths to the quarterfinal, and they still nearly managed to mess it up on 2 or 3 occasions. New Zealand, Egypt, and Iran. And they still only got 5 points from those games. They needed to beat New Zealand in the last game, otherwise they would have been out. So they managed to somehow mess it up along the way. Against Senegal, they nearly messed it up. 2 goals, 3 goals in the last few minutes of the game. Against USA, they were given the game, literally. Yeah. So they haven't had the toughest path to the finals, to the quarterfinals. So yeah, I think that Belgium have had the easiest route forward, but I think it's going to be a very tough game against Spain. And again, even though I personally don't want Spain to qualify, and I'll be very happy if Spain lost for the reasons that I mentioned before in the past episode, but I think Spain have too much for Belgium, and I think Spain will win this game. I'm going for a 3-1 Spain victory against Belgium. What about you, brother?
Spain and Belgium.
Yeah.
It will be Spain. Their finishing is not that impressive so far. So I'll go for 1-0
For Spain?
for Spain and then Belgium.
Okay, done. No.
Norway versus England, two European giants meeting. What many are calling the biggest quarterfinal. Who goes through for this?
Can I ask a question? When was Norway a European giant? They've never been a European giant, Coco. It's the first World Cup in 30 years that they're playing. They didn't even qualify for the past Euro Cup. They're not a big nation. They're just having, like Belgium had, they're having a golden generation of players, right? And it's all stemming from the likes of Haaland, the likes of Odegaard, the likes of the other winger Nusa that they have right now. Which, by the way, a lot of people are not talking about Antonio Nusa enough. I think he's a brilliant player. All right. You know what Norway have is a good group of players that have been playing together for quite a while now. So that builds up the confidence. The coach also is a local coach who understands the people, understands the mindset, and that I think is where England have a disadvantage with Tuchel. He's a German. It's like the horse, the Trojan horse. You know, Germans and British and English, they don't like each other, right? Tuchel is a German. And I'm pretty sure it's a Trojan horse that the Germans have planted in the English FA to try and get England out of the World Cup as soon as possible, okay? But that Trojan horse is not working. How can you leave Arnold out? How can you leave all these star players and bring players like Dan Burn and all? It's a Trojan horse, but it's not working so far. It's working good for England. But look, Norway have never been a big European nation. They have never been a big world nation. Now they're having a golden generation of players with Haaland, Nusa, Odegaard, all these players coming through. But this is going to be their toughest test yet. And you might think, well, they played against Brazil. Forget Brazil. This is going to be their toughest test yet. And I am British, okay? I am supposed to be saying England are going to go through. But you see, Gibraltar is a colony, like India was a colony many years ago. So we don't necessarily have a lot of love for the English also. Like we go to the UK, but you know, even if I have a British passport, but I don't feel like I'm English, all right? I am Gibraltarian. That's my nation. That's my country. By the way, Gibraltar lost against France 14-0, okay? So we are absolutely shit, all right? But we drew against Wales 0-0. Yeah, we lost against Scotland 1-0 only. So we are becoming better and better and better, okay? Only 30,000 people, man. It's like you get fourth mile and fifth mile, and you say, okay, get 25 players to play against France. What will the score be, Gwa? Get Chumu Gedima to play against France. What will the score be? Get Newland to play against France. So that's the population that we have. It's a small place, right? So Norway against England. I want Norway to win. And I want Norway to win because then they'll play against Argentina in the semifinals, and that's going to be a very nice game. All right. But, Norway to beat England. Actually, you know what? If you think about it, Norway and England is like a Premier League game, bro. It's going to be like that. All the players from Norway play in the Premier League also. All the English players play in. And if England beats and they play against Argentina, then it's going to be a very interesting political affair. The Falkland Islands, you know, that kind of thing, that kind of battle, right? Maradona, hand of God. You understand, right? That's going to be a little bit of masala to it, right?
Coach Kivi, your answer is very obvious, but...
I'll go for 1 and 3.
England will win.
1-1, not 2-2 or something like that.
3-1.
3.
For England.
England 3, of course. Why I say this is because Norways are not. I'm not saying Norways are not good. They are playing good as a team, and that's what football demands. But I think their target man is only Haaland. They almost all the time.
Only Haaland. No, only Haaland.
Okay, forget about
Only Haaland. Only Haaland. Only Haaland,
But their
bro.
goal scorer is. They are depending on the lone player.
But he's the best striker in the world
Yes,
right now.
of course, I admit that. So
Better than Harry Kane, no?
sometimes, like, if teams depend on the one players and if the single player doesn't perform, it becomes a change. And then if England doesn't go for man marking and then play the same game, then I think it's going to be an easy win.
Do you think Ezri Konsa and Dan Burn and all these English centre-backs playing for Aston Villa, Newcastle, and all these teams, they can cope with Haaland? Really? If they cannot do it in the Premier League, what makes you think they can do it in the World Cup?
You watch.
You watch.
You watch and
Ooh. No, but I don't say England 3-1. I'm not saying England 3-1. I'm saying Norway are going to beat England, and it's going to be look at this, is going to be a draw.
Draw.
And Norway will win.
And
Not in penalties. They will win in extra time.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Tough. 1-1 draw. 1-1 draw. And Haaland is going to score 2 goals. 2 goals. Okay. And, 2 goals. And Antonio Nusa is going to make 1 assist. There you go. What more do you want?
We're going to talk about this in detail in the next episode because you've gone very detailed. Let's see who gets it right.
But no more punishments for next.
And we might get some crazy punishment for that because since you went very detailed on that, you're very confident. So let's see. No, you don't trust yourself or what?
I do, but
then
Any more
He's
punishments?
just saying, oh, he don't trust me. I already got to know he's talking about Norway, England, but
Oh, this guy playing mind games before
Yeah.
the Dr. Tao trophy. Mind games. Interesting.
okay, Argentina versus Switzerland. Now, Switzerland now faces defending champions Argentina. Based on what you've seen, do they have what it takes to pull off another upset?
No. Easy win for Argentina.
Again.
Easy win for Argentina. And you know why this game is going to be easier? Because Switzerland are European opposition. And you know, Switzerland, when they played in the round of 16 last World Cup against Portugal, they got hammered 6-0. You see, Switzerland are a team that, I'm going to say one thing. If Argentina score early on, forget it for Switzerland. If the longer the games remain tight, 0-0, 0-0, remains tight, the longer it remains tight, Switzerland might have a sniff of a chance. But you see, the thing is, Egypt played with fire, played with heart, played with a lot of passion, same as Cabo Verde. Those are 2 countries that have nothing to lose. Cabo Verde were playing with nothing to lose. Egypt were playing with nothing to lose. When you play with nothing to lose as a coach, your team plays with freedom, right? You have nothing to lose. You're the clear underdog. You have nothing to lose. And you're like, okay, fine. Go out there and enjoy yourself. Cabo Verde especially. Come on, First World Cup. How can you say, oh, no, you have all this pressure now? No. Coach would have logically said, guys, it's against Argentina. It's against Messi. Enjoy. Done. Win or lose, it doesn't matter. We've already made history in this World Cup. Egypt, the same. But you know what Switzerland reminds me of? Austria. Same. They're neighbors. Same style of football. Same style of play. Austria against Argentina, they lost 2-0. They crumbled easy. Why? Because Central European teams, Austria, Switzerland, Slovenia, Slovakia, all these countries, Hungary, they might perform well in one game against any of these big sides. But usually, they crumble under the pressure, right? Because they do have something to lose. They are playing with that kind of, how should I say, restriction in their mind. We are Switzerland. We have made it this far. Now we cannot mess up, this, that. Egypt and Cabo Verde, they had nothing to lose. They play with freedom. I think this will affect the Swiss style of play, seriously. And Argentina, I think, will go through. And they will go through with a 2-0 win against Switzerland. And Messi will score both goals. And he will also assist himself. He will assist himself and score himself. Magic, bro.
Right.
What do you
Coach
think,
Kivi,
bro?
What do you think?
it's a kind of easy prediction from me also.
Ooh.
I'll go for 2-0.
Same. For Switzerland,
I'm
no?
not underestimating
2-0 for Switzerland, no?
No.
Yeah.
2 and then Switzerland. 0-0.
I think this perhaps is Argentina and Switzerland perhaps the easiest one to predict. We might get it completely wrong, and Switzerland might win this game, and we might be left with egg on our faces, and I might have to wear a clown wig and a nose as a clown and paint as a clown for the next episode. I'm giving you ideas, okay, for punishments, okay? Especially if Argentina lose against Switzerland. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, Argentina for the win.
All right. Now we'll move on to the giveaway winner announcement.
We have another giveaway.
We did last episode. We said we'll announce the winner today.
Okay.
I'll give you the chance to take the honors, and please give Coach Kevi and he will pick.
Where is
You can put it in the cup. Oh, wait.
So last episode, in episode 5, we discussed that we were going to be giving a giveaway today for any person, whether it's a he or a she, who for a club jersey, right? So we're going to be doing the honors here today. We have the people that participated in the giveaway here in this really nice and cute and fancy Loudside cup, which you can also purchase, okay, soon enough. All right, if you're a big fan of the program. So we're going to let you, coach, do the honor. Take one sheet out. Let's see. Let's mix it up nicely, okay? I hope my name is inside here, guys, so I get a nice jersey, the Norway red jersey. I want that so bad. Let's see. Please open it up.
Just read it out to us.
So, Fisiata_14. If you can zoom into this, I'd appreciate it, okay?
Winner is Fisiata 14.
Fisiata_14. So do get in contact with us on Instagram, okay, if you watch the show, and you can ask us for any jersey that you want. All right, make sure it's a jersey that's available. Don't go saying some weird football teams. All right, make it cool. All right. I hope it's not a Manchester United team also. Please, no way. All right, so moving on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So before we announce another surprise, just one last question to both of you. Earlier we talked about how Nagaland has so many talents, but we did not talk about why we're not being able to move forward. So anything in regards to that you want to discuss?
You please go.
No, you please go.
No, you please.
No, please go. If I talk, I'm in trouble. Come on, go.
Like I always keep saying, we are not behind others, and then I always keep saying talents are not the problems. So, but what I want to encourage and what I want to talk about is, I think we need football network in Nagaland. That is one thing, and then I think we need to create the opportunities, and the clear pathway for the professionalism, that is establishing a big club like our neighboring state, which they already have, like Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya. They have a big club. And then one thing I also want to say, we are unfortunate because we don't have international players at the moment. We don't have many star players.
What do you mean unfortunate? That's our own fault. No one else's fault.
Yes.
So we cannot be unfortunate if it's our own fault. It's because we haven't done things right in the past. So it's not about being unfortunate. We cannot be like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for myself. I don't have star players. Well, what are you waiting for? You have to build them up from grassroots then. And that takes time. What do you think Manipur have been doing? Do you think the players were born and they were star players? Jake Shenching, Toiba, these guys? No. They were just brought up and they were having the grassroots to participate. The people behind it were putting the money and the effort into it. Here in Nagaland, everyone wants to have a comfortable government job. That's the problem. Yeah. So, correct me if I'm wrong, please, but that's the issue.
That's true, yes.
The mindset is like that. I want comfort. I want to be earning my 35,000 rupees a month and don't disturb me on bus. No, people have to be brave. They got to make the decision. Okay, I might sacrifice a lot, but I want to take Nagaland to the next stage. I want to take Nagaland up and beyond. But people have to have the vision for that and they have to have the courage for that. And a lot of people here don't have the courage for that because they don't want the uncertainty of, what happens if I fail here, if I don't do this properly, if I have my own business, my own academy, but it's not successful, what happens then? Oh my God, what do I do? Do I leave a government job? They don't have that kind of courage to do that. So then we cannot say it's unfortunate. It's our own fault, no one else's.
Yeah, so like you already said, if we talk about Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya, they have international players. And that are the reason they have connections. And you know that inside football is all about connection, the network. So they are having a pathway. So it's circulating, it's cycling. So the players, the grassroots players, the young players are having the clear pathway. And then I hope and pray that even Nagas one day we soon create one.
We will.
Yes, we will.
We will
create one godfather in sports, particularly in football, so that at least he can pave the way for the Nagaland. So that is also one reason. So one thing is we need to establish a big club that attracts the market, that attracts the people, that attracts the grassroots players, and open the way for the people. That is one thing, and one is we have to create one international players or some big stars so that they can help out connecting with the clubs, and then so.
But the person that you mentioned, right, the person that is going to be doing these things has to have the right reason to do it. Because again, I see a lot of people, the reasoning behind going into football is to make money, to do this, to do that. You have to have the right mindset. You have to have the right reason. Knowing that football is a money-losing business. It's not a money-making business. It's a money-losing business.
No, yes, that's
Yeah.
true.
You ask Ranjit Bajaj how many crores he's lost. Crores, not lost, invested. And he's not going to get that back. Right. But it's an investment. Right. So you have to have someone with that kind of mindset, that kind of foresight that, okay, I'm not going to be rich doing this, but I'm going to produce these amount of players for the state of Nagaland. Right. But now tell me, how many people in Nagaland will be selfless to do that? Very
That's true,
few.
that's true, that's
Very
true.
few.
So that's
Very
why
few will have
I
that
keep
mindset.
saying that we need to attract the market also. We need to connect with the stakeholders. We need to connect a good connection with the governments.
Why government though?
Of course, government is our backbone. We cannot deny the facts.
Yeah, but why does government have to be involved in any academy or anything like that? It should be the people, the private people, right? Does government have any idea about football? Do they? No, right? It's a football stakeholders, right? Does you telling me that a minister for tourism will have idea about how to do anything about football? No, right? That's not his strength, no.
No, if he has an interest, then he can pick out the right person, and then
Yeah, the connections
It is all
maybe.
about the interest.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the moment you associate yourself
It's
with,
like we should not invest in the wrong thing.
yeah,
We should not promote the wrong things. We should promote the right things which we needed at this hour.
I think
At this hour.
I just think football should be run by football people, not by politicians. Football should be run by football people because we can see how the AIFF has been run. It was run by politicians. We see the results. Football should be run by football people that have the knowledge about football and have football's interest at heart, not their own personal agenda.
I don't know why you spoke out my heart, yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like that because I am brave. I don't mind speaking what it's a fact. Football should be run by football people with football knowledge, not by politicians who have their own interests, their own agenda, their own way of doing things that does not align with football.
It
See,
is like
that's the problem we have in India.
it is like we cannot just block their interest, but
Of course not.
yes, of course they can have an interest, but they should have to pick the right person.
The right people should
Right
be there.
person.
Always.
Say like I
always.
am minister, so if I am having an interest in sports or like kind of football, I think he has to pick the right person.
The right person should be there. Always.
Yeah.
Always.
He himself should not involve or intervene. So that becomes corruption. So
But that's the problem, right? You cannot tell a politician, don't interfere, because he will not do that. He will interfere. That's why I'm asking you, why should government be involved? Because if you do get government involvement, then the whole thing goes south.
And
And
I
we
think,
see that time
I
and time
forgot to
again.
mention one thing also. I think in Nagaland we need to have a long-term
Project,
football league,
long-term vision.
long-term visions, not a short terms and then invested at one go, boom, and then gone. I don't want to do that. Speaking from my heart, speaking from the heart, I think we need to follow the right structure, right model, follow the professionalism systems. And then I think it will go for long. And then according to the age specific. See, I've been to I-League 3. I've been participating in some big league clubs, and I have some relations. I think they manage easily. They manage easily.
And I just want to say one thing that, this is just our opinion. We're having a very candid conversation about what we believe and what we think that, football should be like, not just in India, but also in Nagaland, okay? This is nothing against the people running the show in Nagaland or anywhere else in India. We just want to reiterate that. We just believe that sometimes football should take a different path. And if we want to improve, because we have football's interests at heart, Nagaland's interests at heart, then maybe we should be doing things in a different way. But it's nothing against the current people running the show. I'm pretty sure that everyone is doing the best that they can to the best of their ability and with the best interests at heart. But we are just trying to say, look, maybe if we do things in a different way, things will improve better. Not just here, but pan-India, right? Because we have experienced that already in mainland India.
the different kinds of attitudes and different kinds of people around. So we just want to make that perfectly clear, okay, before we say anything else, yeah? Just covering ourselves, okay?
Before we write for an apology letter.
Before we have to write an apology letter, okay, we just want to make things perfectly clear.
Now, with that being said, we have come to the end of the podcast. But before that, I just want to say thank you to Coach Kevi for joining us today. I think because you came, we could talk more about coach's perspective today, which is I also personally gained some knowledge, and I believe that it has also helped people to learn something, an insight from the coach's perspective. So thank you for that. Now, before we wrap up, we've got something really exciting to announce. For the first time ever, we're opening up the Loudside to a live audience in episode 7. So if you've ever watched the show and thought, I wish I could ask this question to Joel or have a debate with Joel, or I'd love to be a part of the debate, this is your chance. Come watch the podcast live, meet the guests, ask your questions, share your opinions, and be part of the conversation with us. Seats are limited, so if you'd like to join us, send us a DM and reserve your spot. We'll also be sharing all the details on our social media, so keep an eye for that. We'd love to have you here, so see you at episode 7.
So you guys talk so much shit, so much nonsense on Instagram. Joel, you know nothing. I want to talk to you. I want to debate this. Guys, come on, please. Join us here at the Loudside. We can talk face to face, and let's see if you guys have the audacity to tell me all those things you say in private messages to my face. Come on, please, 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 please have some courage, okay? Don't be like Roberto Martinez and lose for Portugal and then resign and run away into the mountains. Don't be like that, please. Have the courage, have the balls to come here and talk to me face to face. Love you guys.